Hey everyone, good morning. It is Friday, July 19th, special Friday show for the Plant-Based Morning Show, which might mean Bianca can join us. I'll be excited about that. There's been a dearth of news recently in the plant-based world, so we figured AMA would be the way to do a Friday show. Ask us anything. A bunch of people submitted questions in Discord, which is awesome. We will get to some of those. Actually, we'll get to all of those because there weren't that many. There was enough. We'll do that. Plus, we got
The
some
perfect amount.
yeah, just right. Goldilocks zone of questions. Anyway, so that'd be good. Doug, how's it going with you? Otherwise, rest of your
I'm just superb, Matt. You know why?
wow.
Because last night I unlocked a free taco at Taco Billy, and so
Ooh.
not only did I get my Thursday night tacos, but I also got one for free.
Well, there you go. How did you get that unlock? Loyalty
points.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it like digital thing or just a punch the card like Subway style?
It's a digital. When you use it's tied to your credit card. So the more money you spend, the more points you unlock.
Oh, good. And what kind of taco do they offer you as a vegan?
Well, I normally build my own, but they do have a one called the Goodness Lover, which is vegan, and it is very good. And that's so if I'm gonna splurge, it's way more expensive than if I build my own. But last night, that's what I got.
Goodness Lover is a thing, right? You know that?
No.
I knew it was familiar, and I googled it. It's a probiotics gut repair. It's called.
Oh yeah. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So they might get in trouble for that eventually.
Oh, hopefully not because of our show.
No, hopefully not. We'll see. That would be interesting if the Black Mountain Town Councilman got one of his businesses in trouble.
That's true. Like that would be bad. And you know what? I'm actually Goodness Lover is not the name of the taco. I'm thinking of the probiotic. Good Lovin' is what I was thinking of, but Support Group is actually the one that I get. Support Group is the vegan one. Good Lovin' is a vegetarian one. You can get vegan pretty easily.
And a song, #1 hit by the Rascals from their 1966 album, The Young Rascals. Good Lovin'. All right, well, that's good. Glad to hear that. I had a relatively simple dinner last night. Aaron made broccoli in the oven, which was a good thing. The roasting of vegetables is kind of a nice hack for dinner that I never really have appreciated. I always do the sauteing bit, but roasting is really nice. Fewer pans to clean up, simple to do. So she chopped some garlic up, oil, salt, pepper, cooked the broccoli, along with some potatoes done in a similar fashion with rosemary and some tofu cubes. Very simple. But you know what? I got a collection when I was in Florida at Publix. They had, I like this Melinda's brand sriracha. That's my very favorite sriracha sauce. It's better than Hoi Fong or whatever that classic one is. And so I recently got a Melinda's green hot sauce, which is a little different. I think it's meant more for Mexican type foods or Latin American foods than for like Asian foods. But then I saw in the Publix they had these little like airplane bottle size things of it for $1.50 each. And I got like 4 different good flavors. So I used the black truffle sriracha, black truffle hot sauce. Which seems like an odd choice. Black truffle doesn't seem like it would naturally go with,
hot sauce.
The zingy, right. It seems like more of an earthy flavors kind of thing. But it was actually very good on the potatoes and tofu. So turned out to be a nice little easy dinner, healthy and simple and minimal cleanup, which is good.
Excellent. Very nice. Could you taste the black truffles?
Yeah, you can. It literally just adds sort of an earthiness to the thing. It's not. I don't think I would identify and say that's black peppers, or black truffles. But it's just good. I don't know. It was surprisingly good. Anyway, so that's what's going on over there. Bianca has checked in. Did I say Bianca might be here today? I think I did, right?
Yeah, you said Friday. I hope Bianca's here. Yeah, you called her out.
So she's here. She's about to go for a run. But so is Vegan Stallion, Leslie Knight, Anna, Helen DeGennaro, Dale Stevens, D1 to Know Adventure coach, Britters, who has her meetings canceled due to that tech outage. The crowd, what's it called? Yeah. Crowd something. Which Doug, the conspiracy theories are saying just in time for election stuff. Biden's ready to drop out. Suddenly the power's failing. Who knows what's going to go on?
How does that help either Biden or Trump? Just chaos, just sending the world into chaos. Yeah,
so the election can be fraudulent things done behind the scenes, I think.
Oh,
that'd be my guess. I don't really know. Anyway, Who knows? Anthony Amato also here. Brandon Turner here as well. He's off work with the kids. And then did I miss anyone at the bottom? I worked my way up this time. Yeah. Vegan Stallion says, "What's AMA?" It's Ask Me Anything. So you can come up with a question, Vegan Stallion, and ask it to us.
Yes, we have some questions from the Discord, but if anyone has them live,
yeah,
send them here. We'll get to those too.
Put them in. CrowdStrike is the name of the software.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that like one software company can have a bug and it takes down every airline. And
it is crazy, but it's also not shocking. I think we've built a very fragile world as we just keep stacking stuff on top of itself in this huge line of the internet. And I'm honestly surprised it doesn't happen more than it has. But yeah,
you know what it didn't take down?
Bitcoin.
Lovecompliment.com. Head over to lovecompliment.com. Get your supplements.
All right, good. So Bitcoin and Love Compliment are both thriving under this stress.
That's right. That's exactly right. It didn't take down us either. Here we are with the morning show.
That's right. Broadcasting in 4K, 1080p without any issues. Okay, I don't have too much else. I did some kettlebell swinging yesterday instead of one of my walks, or because it was thunderstorming. So I did that for about 25 minutes, then walked later the rest of the 45. So that whole hard, whatever it's called, 75 hard is working well. It's easy to drink the water as long as I remember and start early. So it's all going well, except for that little progress picture. I haven't done that yet.
I went out for a run last night with a buddy because band practice was canceled, and I'm getting faster, which is nice. I haven't run that loop in that fast in quite a while, so it was nice to.
What would be making you get faster? Are you
I don't really know. I mean, I think just overall fitness. I'm running a little bit more in the gym.
Yeah,
shedding a few pounds. So I don't know, just feeling strong. I was saying that last week or 2 weeks ago, right? That I was feeling stronger than I have in a while.
Yes, you were. Yep.
And
so evidence. Yeah. Good for you. All right. Before we jump into our weather report, anything going on this weekend that is of interest to people?
No, not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm gonna do some gardening. That's my goal for the weekend, is to do a bit of gardening.
Okay, that's nice. Very good. All right. Well, let's jump in here to our weather report, which I got the music back, but I didn't actually doing AMA. I wasn't sure if we would have weather report, so I didn't, do my normal prep. But we'll see. I just got a bunch of tabs. I'll read them. We'll see how it goes. Of course, I will summarize them in my own words. I won't verbatim read them. I would never do that. All right, here we go, Doug. World of politics, which I know is one of your favorite areas. You love when we get into political topics on the show that are iffy and that you might say the wrong thing and get yourself in trouble. But this one, J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, recently announced he, who told us yesterday that his wife was vegetarian? Was that you?
No, someone left a comment.
Okay. I just hit the wrong button here. Yeah. So we found that out yesterday. Apparently, yesterday she spoke at the RNC where they had that vegan barbecue tent that was the most popular thing there. And she said that while he's a meat and potatoes guy, he adapted to her vegetarian diet and even learned to cook Indian food for her mother. So
what a guy. What a guy.
So what the Columbus Dispatch says is J.D. Vance is a man of many titles, Ohio senator, the newest Republican vice presidential nominee to former President Donald Trump, wealthy investor, and a person open to being a vegetarian. So look at that. I don't know.
And a person willing to support his wife. Wow.
So anyway, that's what the Columbus Dispatch says. Because he's from Ohio. Okay, that's why they would be putting this. Yeah, and then they go on and explain what being vegetarian is for those who don't have a name. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind this. Kind of like it. Makes me feel like, again, I like the cross party stuff. I like when you get people who just don't quite not that he's really doing anything here, but I like when you get people who might have a little bit of the other side's values, whichever side you're on. So I'm okay with that.
No, I do too. Absolutely.
What is the chances you will do a cross-party endorsement of the other party's candidate?
Of J.D. Vance? Absolutely zero. There's no chance. Zero chance of either Trump or J.D. Vance that I would be endorsing them. Yeah.
Okay, it's a vote for Bitcoin, though, Doug.
It's a vote for many things. Did you see Hulk Hogan at the RNC? This cracked me
No,
up.
no, I did not.
He did a little speech and then he ripped off his shirt and it had like
Yeah.
a Trump Vance thing on it. It was so ridiculous. Like politics is just so it's such a show now. It's like
Yeah,
on both sides. Absolutely, it's just like
definitely.
pure
How's
entertainment.
Hulk Hogan look these days?
What's that?
How's Hulk Hogan look these days?
You know, not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't look great, but like,
Yeah, I mean, how
yeah,
could you? How old he is?
yeah, but he could look worse. I should say he
Yeah.
probably had a lot of makeup on.
Right. Good. I wonder if he did a bunch of drugs and things like for performance enhancing drugs, but also just drugs in general. He probably had a party lifestyle, being Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Dale Stevens was the one who shared that tidbit
Huh.
about the Miss Vance's eating
Miss
habits.
hmm Whenever I think Vance, I think Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration from The Office. Miss Vance is Phyllis, his wife. Okay. Dale says Hulk Hogan looked good, but him and Kid Rock was a bit much. Yeah,
Yeah, Kid Rock performed.
I saw Kid Rock on Twitter doing something.
Uh-huh.
All right, moving on from the politics. The other big news, someone shared this in our Discord, that cultivated pet food has been approved for sale in the UK, which has not happened in the US, to my knowledge, and there's a company that is applying for it now. So I guess, serving it to people, that approval does not apply, also doesn't cover pets or animals in general. But anyway, this is the company Meatly, who we've talked about before. I think we talked about them being in the process of getting this. They used to be called Good Dog Food, and they have received regulatory clearance from the relevant UK government departments to do this. So I guess this, I think we knew this a long time ago, but it's not that the country suddenly says, now this thing is allowed for everyone to make. It's that company by company, you need to say the thing you're going to make. And if it's something that's never been approved before, then it's an historic thing when it happens. So will people forever have to apply to sell cultivated meat somewhere? Doug, you know this as a political man.
I don't know this. I don't know.
Okay.
I hope
So I
not.
guess it doesn't matter too much. But anyway, Meatly's been the first one to get that approval. So I don't know. Did you happen to see, Doug, when they're doing it? I don't know when.
No, I didn't. I just kind of glanced at the article. It was shared by JJo in the Discord. If anyone wants to check it out.
Okay. JJ had a lot of good information in the Discord, I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it. It says they're trying to reach industrial volumes in the next 3 years. So it sounds like a similar timeline. I would guess a faster timeline though than the one in the US to get it into grocery stores and things like that. It just seems like they'll be able to cut more costs this way and have fewer hurdles. Another interesting thing I thought is that the pets are going to be kind of assuming that timeline is faster, the pets are going to be the testing ground for people in some ways, because I don't think there's that many people in the world who are eating cultivated meat. I know it's legal in Singapore and maybe some people are regularly, but as far as large numbers go, I bet more pets are going to be doing it than people for the first 5-7 years. So we'll get a little bit of data from that. Some people might have an ethical issue with that, but I mean, it's legal now, so it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Similarly, Umami is a company that's doing they're trying to get cultivated cat treats in 2025. They're trying to do that in Singapore and San Francisco, USA early next year. So the race is on now for US companies, and then Nucci's as well. These are 3 different articles. These aren't even all the same thing. I think it's just independently all happening at once. They are trying to launch cultivated chicken dog product in the United States. So suddenly, we knew about them before, but suddenly cultivated pet food is like the big opportunity, I guess.
I think we called that, didn't we? That it would start out as pet food.
I think we probably saw that it was happening, and we probably liked the idea and said,
I think it's good. My only concern is that now it's just going to be associated with pet food.
Yeah, that is not a great PR look. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I would think that would eventually ease concerns, but maybe not. Maybe it will, like you said, maybe it will just lower.
I mean, it does seem like a good gateway into being able to sell it and produce it, but
yeah. I haven't been playing the music on these things.
Oh my gosh, Matt, you're dropping the ball.
Last one. Research, big statistical research. Surely everything was meticulously handled by plant-based chef duo Bosch. They found that almost half the UK plant-based population, 49%, is male. survey of 2,400 people. As I said, surely they spared no expense to make absolutely sure that this group was representative of the whole population, since they are plant-based chefs. So take that for what it's worth.
Wait, 40? How much?
49% of plant-based population is male.
Do you believe that?
I believe that 49% of the plant-based population who happens to be their followers, who happens to respond to a survey, is male.
No, I know, but like, what percentage would you say is actually true?
Well, I don't know anything about the UK, how the vibes are over there.
Okay.
Here, I would say less, but I feel like I don't know any vegans anymore. Like maybe from moving. Surely partly it's from moving to Charlotte from Asheville. It used to be that I knew a lot more vegan women than men. Now I just feel like I know a ton of women who aren't vegan now, basically. So I don't have any real data here.
It really is. I mean, it is true. Like, none of my friends, like local friends, except for one, is vegan. I have one local vegan friend.
Yeah. I mean, it's contracting. I think it's very different. And I see this all over the place. I see different restaurants and things saying how it's just so different than it was in 2018, 2019 or whatever, when it was, really, really booming. So hopefully this is just a dip and it'll come back, but who knows? Who knows? Okay, so there you go. There's your weather report. Anything to check in on here?
Yeah, I got to set the record straight here. It's not that I'm scared of saying the wrong thing about politics. It's that I am scared of taking us down a rabbit hole that we might not want to go down. We've made an intentional decision not to get too political on this show before.
Right, definitely. Who would want to do that?
And so I'm hesitant to like break that rule that we've set for ourselves. That's what the hesitation is. That's why I get awkward every time we bring up politics.
Okay, good, fair enough. Well, I like it. Bianca, by the way, posted a picture in Discord. I saw a few weeks ago. She said she was going to do this of a Doug Hay for Board of Aldermen sign back from what must have been 2019, probably.
Yeah, 2020.
2020. So that was cool. And then someone, I think, I don't know, it wasn't Britters. Somebody said we need T-shirts. I think it was Jessica Goodenough. So we need T-shirts. We need to make those again, retro T-shirts that say that the past year, whatever it was, 2020. We just
That'd be fun.
They need everywhere. I don't think it's a really good idea, but kind of a funny idea. If I had one, I'd wear it on Halloween.
When you were dressing up as me. For the show.
Did you ever get a T-shirt of that?
No, I never made T-shirts. I have lots of buttons. I still have some saved buttons and stuff like that, but no T-shirts.
Good. All right. Good. All right. Well, let's jump in then with our questions. I have them here too, but you probably can navigate them better than I can, Doug. So why don't you start us off? Well, do we want to mention the Credo spray cheese that Stay plant-based?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all they did was link it to a Reddit article and say, here, someone found it.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you were saying that to me that someone had found it. I don't know why I thought.
No. This is a Reddit. But I also saw an Instagram post separately from this of someone using it. And they said it was great. That tasted exactly like you would anticipate it tasting.
Yeah. As much as that junk food usually turns me off, seeing it like on those crackers in this very unprofessional Reddit, video screenshot or whatever, it just kind of like, I just remember that. Like that exact combination, that on Ritz. Are Ritz even vegan now? This is it. So maybe that is a different kind that's vegan. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like that actually would be good. Like nostalgia taste. I remember.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that was what I ate. I mean, we wouldn't buy this very often, but like definitely, like if you got one, it was a treat. It was exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, that's called Credo. It's made with oat milk. So if you see it in the store, somebody grab it for your next video game marathon or something. Could be good.
All right. We're just going to go from the top here with the question. Okay. Jessica Goodenough says, Doug, and I'm going to say Matt here too. Doug, what's a good Tex-Mex recipe for beginners? We normally have chili every week, but I want to branch out into tacos. We'll start with that one.
Okay. Why don't you go first? I don't have an answer, but I can think of one.
I mean, tacos... you really can't go wrong. you really can't screw it up. Like if you just do. Wait,
clarify. What's the difference between Tex-Mex and Mexican?
I don't know. I think of American Mexican food.
Like Tex-Mex has like Fritos sprinkled into it and stuff.
No. I mean, I just think of like I'm not following a traditional recipe, for example. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, you just all right. Saute a bunch of vegetables. You can even buy the taco seasoning if you don't want to make your own. And just saute like peppers and onions. That's if you just did that, that would be fine. You could throw in some
on tacos though. You're putting peppers and onions.
I mean, I guess I'm talking more about burritos.
Okay.
And then some black beans, or you could do something like seitan, have a little chicken-y texture in there, would be yummy. And then some rice, wrap it up in a burrito, add some cilantro, tomato, salsa, sour cream if you want to go vegan sour cream, something like that. That's a delicious meal right there, and it's really very simple. But you can, I mean, like buying the taco seasoning will make it super easy, and it'll make it taste a whole lot better.
Yeah, I believe that. Good. Yeah, I don't really almost ever cook this way. The other day though, when Aaron was gone, Holden and I made fajitas. I got the Abbott's Butcher brand. I don't know, chicken that was Mexican flavor, plant-based chicken, of course. And that was pretty good. I forget what it was made of or what, but that's a fairly clean label. Those Abbott's Butcher stuff.
Yeah.
So all I did was like Chipotle does, chopped up onions and green peppers and sauteed them. Peppers for very little time. Don't want to overdo those peppers; it ruins them. And I think we had some avocado with it. And I forget if we put any. I think Aaron has like a homemade kind of taco seasoning mix. I think we sprinkled a little bit of that into the vegetables. Anyway, very simple. I don't consider that a recipe though. That's not a recipe I'd be recommending to anyone. That's like what you do when you have no idea what to make and you're just going to throw something together.
That's the beauty of tacos, is that you can do them when you have no idea what to make. It's not a recipe. I mean, if you want a recipe, then like Oshiglo's has an enchilada recipe.
Yeah,
very simple.
That's a recipe. That's
very simple and very good. I love that recipe. Another way to like do something very simple would be to grill. You could like take strips of squash or zucchini, grill some of those, and then just do black beans. Season them properly. Then just do some black beans and some corn tortillas, and then you can make little like tacos with just black beans and your squash, and maybe put a little fresh salsa on. Perfect.
Good. Sorry, there's a noise outside my window, so I muted myself. But I don't have much more to contribute here. But I will say, this is not Tex-Mex, but Terry Hope Romero's Viva Vegan book, which is a bunch of Latino recipes. It's fantastic. Great book. That's where I get the Cuban sandwich recipe that I use, which has several fake meats and cheeses in it, so it's not a healthy thing at all. But her stuff, it's a very authentic feel to the stuff. And I'm not sure where she grew up, but at least much of her family has lived or lives in those countries, and it's just good stuff. It's good, like make your own seitan recipes and 3 or 4 different kinds that are meant to mimic different kinds of meats. So it's a good book. Viva Vegan, Terry Hope Romero.
Jessica's follow-up question is for both of us, and she's alluding to it here in her comments too. What meals do you recommend when it's too hot to make the usuals? And I think that Jessica is pregnant, if I'm not mistaken. So if it's hot and you're pregnant and you just don't want to deal with all that stuff, what's your like simple go-to meal?
I mean, the simplest of meals is make a salad and put chickpeas on it. That's not a real dinner, in my opinion. We do what is it called? It's from Vegan for Everybody, America's Test Kitchen. I mentioned all the time. Their Caesar Caesar meal, Caesar salad meal with kale Caesar salad. That's what I was looking for. And you can we sometimes buy the tofurkey, chicken stuff and put that on there. But it also works really well with just good old chickpeas. You make your own croutons. So that's kind of still involved. You got to do some work. It's not a, don't feel like cooking tonight meal, but when you get it, it's a cool meal. It's not hot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say salad too. And then maybe like avocado toast or something alongside it to make it feel a little bit more like a meal. But,
another one we'll do, this is, I mean, again, not a real dinner. Oh, I have a great one. So first of all, we'll make pan con tomate every now and then. Often that's a breakfast time thing, but sometimes you just grate a fresh tomato. It needs to be a decent tomato, but you just grate that with a box grater. You get the pulp and you toast some bread, ideally good bread, but whatever you got can work. Rub the toast with garlic, a raw garlic clove, then put the tomato stuff, salt and olive oil on top. It's a
grated tomato.
Yeah, like you take a box grater and you cut off the very bottom bit of a tomato and then you just grate it against that. So you end up with the whole skin in your hand basically, then you throw that away. But all the fleshy stuff of the tomato is grated.
Okay.
It's a very popular tapa in Spain, and often it's a breakfast too. But we do that sometimes. But what it reminded me of, and we've done that with this thing, Jose Andres has a recipe. Veg News wrote an odd article like a couple months ago that was like, here's 7 vegan-friendly Jose Andres recipes. And they linked to them, but like a bunch of them were recipes with fish or something in them. And they just had leave the fish out. But it just seemed like a very not Veg News thing to do. I was just shocked to find that article, but I was glad that I did because Jose Andres has a salad in there that, again, takes a little bit of work, but it's always worth it. And it's the perfect, like, just kind of cool summer day or hot summer day. You want a cool meal. Has its own croutons. I'm putting the I'll put the link right here in the chat for us. Cold tomato and bread salad is the name of it. So there you go. That's another good recipe.
Britter says microwave nachos.
Saw somebody eating those this past week when I was in Orlando. Somebody.
Always a very solid choice. Dale says that she's been loving fried potatoes with buffalo tofu, cherry tomatoes, arugula, vegan creamy dressing. It's the bomb. That sounds great.
Hey, that reminds me. I missed one weather report item. That's what I get for not organizing it. So I'm gonna go back to the weather report real quick. McCormick and Co.'s Old Bay. We all know and love Old Bay, the crab seasoning in Maryland. That is now in partnership with seasoned bagel chips, or with a bagel chips company called Cali Bagel. So it's an East Coast meets West Coast collaboration here. They're just putting Old Bay on bagel chips. But what I wanted to say from that is I actually really like that idea. I'm not a big bagel chip eater, but like I don't like crabs were ever good. It was the Old Bay seasoning that everybody wants when they want the flavor of crabs. So you put that on anything and it's going to be good. And that was my experience with buffalo, because buffalo chicken was like the thing that I most missed when I started being vegetarian. But then I realized, like, you can just put, as long as you can get a buffalo sauce without butter, or make your own, you put that on anything and you get the same flavors. So I love the buffalo tofu idea. I never actually do that, but it's a great idea.
You know what we had the other day, speaking of bagel chips, is pizza bagels. Homemade pizza bagels. They were so good. It was really
mini
good.
Bagels? Where do you get the mini bagels? Or you do whole bagels? You don't do bagel bites?
Yeah, just whole bagels, like whole plain bagels.
Yeah.
A little pasta sauce, pizza sauce, tiny little bit of cheese, and then like some basil, and I think that was it. Honestly, it was great. It was very good.
Really good. Yeah, when we a very low night is when we don't know what to do, and we pull out some pitas out of the pantry and make pizzas on those. And I always feel quite ashamed to do that, to serve that, but it works.
I mean, come on, it's fine. Have a little salad on the side. Brandon Turner says that when I mentioned avocado toast, her daughter wants to come to our house. You're welcome anytime, Brandon. Daughter.
Yeah. Good. Come on over.
All right, we got to start moving through here. It's already 30. All right. Britters asked, what do you think? I would love to know what your greatest accomplishment is thus far. And all right, I'm gonna put a little context. I'm gonna make some parameters around this. We can't say family or marriage. I mean, of course, I'm really proud of 11 years of marriage.
And what I would say, those aren't accomplishments. Anyone can do those. They're easy to get.
Okay.
Kids cannot be the greatest accomplishment. Anyone can have kids. Well, not anyone. Most people.
I mean, 11 years of marriage. That's an
You're right. Not everyone makes it that far. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. But all right, let's do work or physical, or maybe both.
Yeah, mine are boring. I mean, they really are boring. Starting a business and then making that my job, like that's probably still my favorite accomplishment of what I've done. Like that was what I wanted forever and did it. Second to that is the New York Times bestseller, which I really wanted, but it, proved not to be that meaningful in the long run. It was just a thing that I wanted and eventually got after a lot of work and a lot of failing. But I can't say like I'm that proud of that because it's not like it. I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it, basically. And then my physical ones, and then you can go. I think the qualifying for Boston Marathon is more important to me than doing the 100 miler. But They're both up there. They're both a really very meaningful things.
Yeah. I think that mine are the taking the leap from my typical career path job in DC to moving to Black Mountain, doing Rock Creek Runner and No Meat Athlete, making that a career, and then eventually No Meat Athlete / Compliment, and then now essentially just Compliment. I don't know. I'm proud of making that leap.
Yeah.
And then I would also say being elected on the town council. I was proud of. I am continue to be proud of that. And physical. I mean, it's got to be one of the 100 milers. Probably my first, just because so many unknowns around that.
What about winning the Black Mountain Monster?
Winning, yeah. I mean, well, honestly, like that one, not just the winning, but also going sub 24 hours, 100 miler.
First man ever to do that. First human being ever to do that.
First human being ever to do that. And I did it on a plant-based diet. So there you go. If you don't need any more proof than that.
Very nice.
No, of course not. But that was a big accomplishment for me. Yeah.
Good. All right. I think, like I said, boring. I think anyone could have guessed those, which is why I think they're boring.
All right. Helen asks, Helen Degg on Instagram, which is just Helen.
Helen DeGeneiro.
Helen DeGeneiro. If you could live anywhere, money no issue, where would it be and why? I'm going to guess Spain for you. Is that correct?
Well, if I could live anywhere, it would be like probably live in a different country in Europe for 5 or 6 years and get to learn all the languages and move around. But there's no one place I'd want to like go and stay. I think no matter where I was within a year or two, I'd say let's find a new place. I think Italy I want my first year to be Italy, just because I've spent a lot of time in Spain, and Italy would be more interesting to me as far as learning a new language, and getting new food and things. So that'd be where I'd first go. Maybe Sardinia, Blue Zone region. Although I don't think it's really a nice spot now. That part of Sardinia, anyway.
What about I gotta go Black Mountain. I'd live in a nicer house, but if I could live anywhere, this is where I want to live. This is my dream. Yeah. My dream place. Yeah, absolutely. But that said, I would get a second home, probably in the Alps, maybe the Italian Alps. I really love Italy as well. But someplace with good skiing, good mountain running, someplace I could visit several months a year.
Yeah.
But Black Mountain, why would I want to go anywhere else?
Yeah, really, why not? Well, if you happen to get that home in the Italian Alps, Doug, and there's a golf course, we will make that golf thing happen. That golf
okay. That's what it'll take.
Carson will see to it that goal happens.
All right. This comes from Josh. Any new products coming down the Compliment pipeline? And when are we going to get new plant-based morning show or Compliment merch? I finally had to part ways with my gray anime carrot shirt after many years and have been lost ever since.
I saw Bianca was getting rid of her No Meat Athlete sticker, her original carrot sticker. Actually, I don't know what version it was, but it was completely faded and lost all the color in it. And so I understand why she's getting rid of it, but that made me sad. I mean, I feel like wish we had more of that. I don't know if we will. I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll make Compliment merch. That'd be kind of fun if we made promo. Like my Huel shirt I wear. I don't know if we'll make more No Meat Athlete stuff unless there's like a resurgence of No Meat Athlete interest or commitment on our part to make that brand good. But it's a shame because it is really a good brand still as far as name and logo and stuff.
Yeah. We might. I mean, maybe it's a limited run throwback.
That would be fun. Who knows what will happen? What kind of stuff will become popular and worthwhile? By the way, Josh reminds me, I was looking for the name of the person before I went to the beach this year who had reached out last year saying, let's meet up and do something. And I couldn't because my trip ended quickly. But that's who it was, Josh from Delaware. So we missed our window this year, Josh, but next year.
Can we talk about Compliment products? I don't know.
What, did someone ask about Compliment products?
They said, what new Compliment products are
yeah, he wasn't just asking about merch. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we probably should. There's not too much that is definite anyway right now.
Right.
Just things we've been discussing. So can't say those yet.
But keep an eye out.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Eyes peeled. I tasted one this morning. Or tested.
That's right. Yeah, that one is coming, but yeah, I think we gotta wait on that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lindsay asks, have you ever been to Ireland? I'm going there for a wedding in March. I'm curious what the vegan scene is like.
Wish Stephen were here. He could tell us, but
Mm-hmm.
I have not been to Ireland ever or any part of the UK. Ireland's part of the UK, right?
Yeah. Well, yes.
It's not England. But
I mean, the
I
Ireland.
thought England, Scotland, and Wales was the UK. Is Ireland in the UK?
Part of Ireland is, and the other half isn't.
Okay. There you go. That's the whole Northern Ireland conflict.
That's right.
Anyway, no, I haven't been there. And it sure doesn't sound like a vegan friendly place, but neither really does London and England. And London is one of the best vegan cities there is, apparently. So I don't know. You know anything about that, Doug?
The southern 4/5 of northwestern portion of the island of Ireland is an independent country called the Republic of Ireland and is not part of the UK.
Okay. But Northern Ireland is?
Northwestern portion. I think that is Northern Ireland, but it's not.
It's a UK constituent country, Northern Ireland.
Oh, wait. However, Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have no idea about their vegan friendliness. No idea. I've been to Scotland. Spent a couple of months there when I was younger. But
Did you get a wee bit of vegan food there?
No, I was definitely not vegan at the time. I ate a lot of fish and chips, tried haggis, did the whole thing. I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Spent my summer there.
Lift a stone?
Lift a stone, yep. Went to the Hay Castle. Did a lot of Hay heritage stuff.
Were you like welcomed with red carpet at the Hay Castle? Like, did they blow horns and things at your arrival?
No, they're like, all right, here's another Hay. Come on in, sign the book. Yeah.
All right, a couple funny comments here. Jessica Goodenough says, compliment slut dust. That should be the new product. Maybe that's it, and we just don't want to reveal to Slutty Vegan that we're trying to get a piece of that market. And then Helen was glad that I nailed her last name. I only did that because I asked a long time ago, and she explained to me how to say it. Degen Arrow, and that's how. Okay, someone asked a camping trip here, Doug. I think Bianca. Yeah, she's the question if there's time, but let's do that because I like to reward the live questions. Any favorite camping recipes? I'm going camping later today. This will be probably your department, Doug. I haven't made one in a while.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my biggest camping tips are ones that I shared the other day in an email from Matt. But is to like prep food ahead of time, especially for night one. Like, go ahead and pre-chop a bunch of vegetables and things like that if you're going to be roasting them or sautéing them.
I thought night one was bring a pizza in.
Yeah, that's that too. That's the even better tip. That's a new one
like
for
my
me.
kind of camping trip.
In the last 2 camping trips I've done, it's so good. It's just like so fantastically good to show up with pizza, pick up pizza, near the campground on the way in. Show up with pizza, then you can build a fire. You can do s'mores. You can maybe roast something to go along with the pizza. But then you have most of your meal already made. So that's my best.
Doesn't it get cold in between the time that you check in and unload the tent?
You can bring a little tinfoil and put it back on the grill, toast it up a bit. Man, it's so good. It's like, I don't know, just having that already done for you made it's been I'm a fan of it. Of course, you can't do that for nights 2 and 3, but pre-chopping some vegetables, I think is a good one. I don't know. I mean, like as cliche as it is, we do a lot of like tacos and that kind of stuff. I mean, you can do your typical burgers and hot dogs and things like that. I don't know.
But the Hay family eats tacos on their camping trip.
Hay family eats tacos wherever we go. All right. Here's another one. Chickpea salad, like a tuna salad that's made out of chickpeas. I can't remember I think it might be an Issa Does It recipe.
Make that ahead of time?
Make that ahead of time. Have a huge batch of that for lunches and stuff and wraps. Very good. Yeah, that's all I got. Ramen.
Good. All right, I like that. Unorthodox advice. Not just saying get some vegan hot dogs.
No.
Good.
How about you, Matt? I mean, what do? You do vegan hot dogs, right?
Yeah. In the old days, the old days is when I camped. I haven't camped in forever. There were times when we chopped vegetables. I think probably cubed tofu and put it in like foil packets or something. I honestly don't remember. Or we brought baked potatoes and just wrapped them in foil and tucked them in the fire somewhere, and that was okay. Yeah. Other than that, just hot dogs, s'mores, all that stuff. All right. For the person who asked about the UK, I don't know if they're here. I forget whose name it was. But someone had Anna says check out Cornucopia in Dublin. So there's at least one restaurant in Ireland that is vegan that you can go to. It's a nice restaurant, she says.
Brandon Turner asks, my daughter wanted to mention she wants to do a podcast. Any advice? How old is your daughter? Would be my question.
Yeah, tell us that. While he does, he says we're about to head to I assume that's Beaufort, South Carolina, not Beaufort, North Carolina, to be with some friends. Haven't been to the beach in a while, so looking forward to it. That is the South Carolina one is a really nice place. I like being there. It's good, kind of beachy, but not too beachy. And you get all that Spanish moss and low country vibes. It's a good place. But I don't know about vegan food. Vegan food, never easy to find in that.
No, so hard. So hard to find vegan food at the beach.
Yeah.
Dale says that she finally decided to have a vegan hot dog this week, and it was good. Field roast, smoked, something like that.
Yeah, I think field roast is what I got recently. They're ballpark dogs, whatever they're called, and they weren't as good as the normal field roast. But maybe she had the normal ones. They're Frankfurters. All right, what else? So Brandon says his daughter's 8. This is the one who's coming over to your house for dinner, right?
Yeah. So I got some advice on this for real because my daughter and I have a podcast that I've never promoted here.
Maybe you should. Maybe now's the time.
No, I don't know. Maybe
server might not be able to handle it, especially on a day like this with all the tech stuff.
I know. And so we do it together. I basically ask her questions, but it's called The Magical and Mysterious World, and we talk about different very mysterious creatures like dragons and fairies and whatever. Have a different topic. But my advice is just to do it. Just sit down with a little microphone on your cell phone or something like that, and just talk and have a good time.
Yeah, that would be mine as well. I think getting kids to be content creators is really good. I think it will help them from a very young age understand the difference between that and just consuming content, which I think for kids, consuming content is a real problem. Like my son, he does Instagram, and he's been very successful as a creator on Instagram. But it's still like every few months he like hits a point where he's just doing way too much scrolling of Instagram, and we need to remind him to get off it, and he needs to set some sort of boundaries for himself. And like it's always a thing. I don't know how you could be a mindful parent who's kind of paying attention to your kids and not have social media be a giant thing that they are dealing. Like adults get addicted to social media all the time. Most adults, I would say, are. It's not viewed as a problem, but they are. And so kids are just so much more susceptible to that. So I don't know if I even recommend any of it, and I'm not sure if I would do it again for my son at such a young age. He started, I think, when he was in maybe 6th grade or 5th grade, COVID time. But anyway,
shout out on the Rich Roll podcast.
What's that?
He got a shout out on the Rich Roll podcast.
Right, he did. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, when he goes to tournaments and things like this past weekend, like one of the teams at the end of it all asked him if he was mountain football kid because they know him, and same with some of his friends who also have big Instagram channels. Like I don't know, it's weird, but I think it's good for them to experience that stuff. So anyway, my main point with that is, I think there's so much opportunity like in this world for someone to be a content creator. Who knows what format it will take, but just like getting in the habit of doing some stuff, realizing you're going to be terrible at first, and then understanding that like don't judge the results in the first few months, or even for a few years, and just kind of be in the habit of consistently making content about something you're interested in. Like it seems like a great skill to have, and that's at the least. At the most, stumble on something that starts to build a following, and then even if your daughter at some point, when she switches interests completely, like at least some people will still respect and like her and want to follow her over to that thing. And I don't know, I think you could build a whole career that way.
Totally.
Don't have to pay for college then. Could be good. Okay. Garuda's here. Garuda checked in. Ask us anything, Garuda. If you got a question, now's the time. We're actually kind of out of time, but are there more Discord questions?
No, that was it. I think.
Okay.
I think I got them all.
People really took the ask us anything literally, didn't they? They went all out. They held nothing back.
Oh, I got a question for you, Matt.
Oh, okay. What's that?
All right. So if you could think about one consistent, if you were consistent in doing one thing for your I'm gonna say fitness, but yeah, one thing for your fitness for the next 20 years, what would it be?
That's very hard. I think the best thing I could do would be play sports and keep playing them. Different ones. Just be involved in sports.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess you could say that, I could design a fitness program that pulls in lots of different aspects of things, but that's not just doing one thing.
No, I'm talking about. I mean, play sports is a good one. Yeah. So like,
Right.
we're looking at like tennis, pickleball,
Soccer.
What else?
Skiing. I mean, I'd say running can be a sport. Entering races occasionally, but I don't mean like be a runner and that's your thing. But like, you sometimes do running stuff. Sometimes you might swim. I just think that's probably better than any single like activity. And I'm also saying it because it's more likely to be sustainable. Whereas I don't, in my experience, as much as I think it's one thing is what I'm going to do, and I find it and I love it, and I do it for 2 years, and I think, well, I'm going to do this forever. That never ever lasts.
Mm-hmm.
So I might come back to it, but anyway, I think sports is just a very good thing.
Yeah,
and I think you get lots of randomness in sports, whereas a lot of these contrived exercises we do at home, you do the same movement all the time. But sports, a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Since I don't have a question for you,
I mean, I think it'd be walking, or like walk/movement, or like running, walk/running, anything like that. Just kind of or hiking, just any sort of forward propelled. I mean, what's that? What is that meditation bell that's going on?
It is my computer when I get text messages. I don't know why that has started happening, but it does. I can figure out to turn that off.
But yeah, I mean, I think running. I don't want to say running because I don't know that I'll be running 25 years consistently the same way I am now. But walking, hiking, that kind of thing. But I like the idea of sports. If just like being playful,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do any. I mean, I wish I did lots of those things. So I need to get into that. Plus, there's a huge social aspect if you're doing team or even things against people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you I played pickleball at the beach?
No. What'd you think?
I thought it was okay. I think I like tennis a lot better. It didn't really feel like it almost didn't feel like a sport. It felt like ping pong.
Were you doing doubles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't. It was so hot that it did get tiring, but it didn't feel like I'd really done anything at the end.
I find that doubles is fun, but singles is like if you want to work out, you want to move around quickly and like do all that kind of stuff, then singles is way better.
Yeah. All right, let's end with Garuda's question here. He says, any advice for yourself 10 years ago if you had a time machine? That's a good question.
I mean, it's kind of cliche maybe, but care less about what people think. Spend less time thinking about reviews on podcasts and comments on YouTube and comments about being a town council member, all that stuff. I mean, just care less about all that and just do, be your best and be yourself.
Yeah. I think that's good advice. And I think I kind of learned that about that long ago. And before that, the first 5 years or whatever of all the career, I think I had the same thing. And I just realized that eventually that stuff, that I'd be better off just not looking at it. And that's kind of what I did. I think for me, somehow be less stressed, which is kind of silly advice because like the stressors are still there. But I don't know. I just think, yeah, it's like I said, it's hard because I can't I stress about different things. And those are still there. I kind of wish that I had been more social. You know what? This is a good one. Be more active in like the process of like trying to meet people and make friends and like be a part of conversations. Because I think I got so wrapped up in the no meat athlete stuff and like my interactions with new people, it was always like about that. Because there was a time when no meat athlete really was like a very high level of popularity.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of people in the world were vegan and vegetarian then. So it kind of added to it that it felt like if I was going out to dinner with people, like very often like that would be either people would already know what it was, or once we talked about that, they'd be very interested in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got in this habit of like just kind of like, answering questions, or like knowing that like I had this thing that was attractive or interesting about me, and then like I could just kind of answer questions about that, and like that would be the topic. But like since that has passed, and I've just not been interested in it anyway.
Who are you without knowing an athlete?
What'd you say?
Who are you without knowing an athlete?
Yeah, I mean, like it's just so like I'm in conversations and I listen to stuff, but I don't really like ever like. It just occurred to me recently, like you actually have to like make effort in conversations and like try to come up with things to say. And if there's that silent space, like it's partly your job to fill that space instead of just be okay with nothing being said. So I don't know. I realized that I've been really bad about social interaction. Not a jerk, but I bet people probably think that I am because I say so little. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's an important thing, and I wish I could have done that differently.
10 years ago, I would have told myself to buy a couple hundred Bitcoin.
Man, I know that would be better advice than the social thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only.
But
now, all you need now is 0.1 Bitcoin, they say, because it's going to go to $1 billion, and then you'll have $100 million. Fidelity put out some report saying it might go to $1 billion.
Who put that out?
Fidelity Investments.
$1 billion. I don't know.
I saw it yesterday. I heard them say it. I was like, that's ridiculous. And I looked it up, and sure enough, they did say that. But $1 million is, I mean, assumed that it goes to $1 million. That's not even out there projection.
Yeah.
I actually have some doubts. I read a bunch of, dug into some papers yesterday from a guy who I really like, who is a serious doubter. And I figured it's my responsibility to read the dissenting opinions as well.
There you go. Smart, man. There you go.
Yeah. So I'm not giving any financial advice here.
No financial advice.
All right.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah. Social, I mean, friends, man. Friends are like where it's at.
Yeah. Really, in many ways, I think that's
spend time on your friendships and your relationships.
I think that in a lasting manner adds to your happiness much more than achieving anything does.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because that stuff, you reset and then you're no longer happy with those things. But I think with friends, if I think that doesn't really dull. It just stays good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is funny. Jessica said the bell is a reminder to focus on your breath. So if every time I get a text message, it's just simply a reminder for me to breathe like that. And Bianca thought I was just playing with the sound machine with the bells, because I do sometimes play bells like that. But no, I got to turn that off. It's good. It's a good reminder. Okay. That's it. Thanks for the questions, everyone. That was fun. That was good. Glad we got to fill a Friday show with something a little different. We'll be back Tuesday. Anything else, Doug?
No, that'll be it. That's it. Got to do some sort of ask me anything question or facial expression.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
All right, bye.
Have fun camping, Bianca.